Florence Scovel Shinn, Florence Scovel Shinn, Florence Scovel Shinn, and all the women. Florence Scovel Shinn, Florence Scovel Shinn, Florence Scovel Shinn, and all the women. Florence Scovel Shinn, Florence Scovel Shinn, Florence Scovel Shinn, and all the women. Florence Scovel Shinn. I wish I could see this guy right here. This is okay. Look at this branch that fell yesterday. Kind of abstractly looks like cannabis, and I've understood this morning I need to get rid of the leftover xenophobic attitudes from America about cannabis, because it's like, do you want to key out instantly, or do you want to attempt to run through your day the best you can, gasping for, like, I just like the background, even if the lighting's not as nice. It's just prettier, you know. Also, I've never done my hair like this. It was very much a Tao moment. Basically, do you want to run through your day trying your best and feeling like it's not going to suddenly be 100,000 times better than what you've already known? And there's a feeling of worry that's very grand, because you're like, the worry may as well be already etched in stone a little, because it's always been like this and I'm never going to give up, but I don't know how to. Do you want that, or do you want to literally have a plant that evolved on this earth, come out of the earth and be like, I'm made for you, human, to literally stop this irresponsibility? People were there when you were a kid who were very dangerous energies, and they messed you up, and you need to get out because your life is in danger, because you're not aware of how your energy is coded to make your life be hell, which is what you're dealing with. Also, if you take this literal flower and smoke it, or put it into an oil extraction and then eat it, I will take away the pain of what those dangerous people did. And then also, I'm going to create space in your head for all these ideas and clarifications and answers to your prayers and secret questions and impressions and pains and all these different things. And just new information that you haven't been asking about because you didn't understand you should be asking for it. Asking for this information, because why would you? You're in that other frame of mind where you're being drained by the stress and pain and the feeling of, why would I somehow find what I need today because I've never found it before? That is an extremely taxing feeling. It is wonderful that you have found a way to be strong in that feeling every day, and you have committed yourself to always face this feeling, even if it's there every single day in the next however many months, because you always think it's months at a time, but the months turn to years. You're like, for the next few months I really want to change my life. In the next like 3 months, in the next 2 months I can really make a big change. And then it's like, well, I have made changes, and I've kept myself alive through this crazy onslaught of dangerous energy, which is the world out there. When you're coded by dangerous people in your childhood, because then that's what comes to you. Everything else doesn't seem normal. And so your zadacha, there's no English word that's good enough. I don't know. I don't know it personally. Okay? The thing to do for you, because you are a child growing up in dangerous environments with dangerous people, destructive people who consciously want to destroy you, okay? You need to understand, get away from society. Like, literally, I got this card the other day, months ago, and then I stopped using cards because I just got tired of trying to decipher. And it was like, it's time to disconnect from the world. Like, literally, get away from them. They're your source of death and danger and destruction and dismay and everything else. Like, you need to get away from them. And then you have to you have to have the understandings, the information be able to come to you to help you while you're in the solitary shop of your life, being like, hey, I gotta change my energy. This is dangerous. If this is where life comes from, this is dangerous. I need to change my energy. This is dangerous. All of you guys are still in the realm of, oh, I don't know if I believe in blah, 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 woo, woo, new age. Apparently it was called new thought. Originally, information changes everything. Good information can't come to you when you're in a magnetic configuration that will not bring you anything that would be beneficial to you, and the opposite of destructive would bring you, like, you, why would it bring you something that is the opposite of destructive when your energetic settings, your magnetics, are set to destructive energy coming to you because of how you didn't know you were perpetuating the patterns taught to you, impressed upon you with the greatest force. Impressed upon you with the greatest force from the outside world, from countless people. Countless people. I'm like, I feel like you could name actually the main culprits and have a list of, like, information is everything. And so that's why I think I started this video with Florence Scovel Shinn. I was originally having the impulse, and then to like make a little recording of like 2 minutes just dancing praises to Florence Scovel Shinn because she changed my life yesterday, okay? But I was flowing with the Tao, like I would have never, it just popped into my head, like Florence Scovel Shinn, remember that book a long time ago? And I'm like, haven't thought of her in forever, and I was gonna run to the library yesterday, and I did. And I spent like 6 hours there. No, 10 to 5. I spent like 7 hours there. Good job, me. Thank you. So Florence Scovel Shinn and all these women are the ones who are making me aware, like I have to praise myself. And see the feeling of the peanut gallery representing society out there inside of your own emotional experience, mental experience of, oh, maybe that will make me a bad person because now I'm going to be too self-loving and too into myself and no, I have to, oh my God, I have to prove I'm a good person because then, especially if you have any sense of, like style and like, oh my God, like I want to be pretty and I want to be feminine and I really want to just like go all the way. People are like, oh no, that means you're in danger of becoming like a mega bitch. It's not Oshun energy. Oh no, it's not self-love Oshun energy. Oh no, it's not Sekhmet healing energy. It's not any of that. It's not you flowing, into your, look at my divine feminine line up. My divine masculine, where are you? How do I go? Ooh, representation. Thank you to the higher self of one. Okay, for being. I'm like, thank you for coming into this planet space. I'm so happy. Saying that without feeling like, oh no, the peanut gallery inside my own awareness of what society is like out there, the peanut gallery representing them, giving me like, maybe it's not even the peanut gallery, I'm an empath, so like maybe it's just mental entanglement, because you're in an ocean of chi and thought and mentality from all these people, and maybe literally like somebody could just sense like, oh, someone here has gone up in their self-love, and the whole ocean feels that, and then the people who are really in captivity to this dangerous, destructive way of thinking, way of seeing, way of mind are the ones who would have the emotions of, someone's getting to her, no, and also, I can sense that this person's a woman, I can sense this person is feminine, I can sense this person is pretty, I can sense that this person loves style and beauty and self-expression, and she's really like into herself. She's not like, I'm going to do all this stuff, but then also I'm going to have a little moment of self-deprecation. No. It's a whole new thing, baby. It's not about, yeah, I'm the freshest. I've never liked that. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't reference myself in relation to other. I just want to do what I do, and then I want to show up on the stage and be like, hey, here's what I'm doing. Because I'm here. This is my stage. Because I'm alive, too. I'm healing from my childhood experience of dangerous racism, and it's really fun to just recognize like that was a moment of healing that was not going to be possible yesterday. And I'm going to just mention this right now. I just realized because I woke up and morality that says, I'm like, yes, I didn't know Africans had any fucking value, baby. You guys taught me nothing. Why would I? You expect me to get that at home from my family, like that they remember, like, scared Jews through their mother fucking experience. And because I'm like, there's no African voice anywhere. There is no African voice anywhere, bitch. I'm saying in this crazy planet of ours, where Africa is the place where humans originated, there's no African voice. Did you not notice? I'm like, the transatlantic slave trade, 400 years. There is no time, you guys keep saying. You're so into this thing, right? And I'm like, great. I love physics. The first thing I did when I went off the path of absolute societal destruction of me way of living, and I was trying to give myself free time, and I felt so guilty. I'm like, I can't have an hour just to like, I can't have like an afternoon of just, I can't have a day of off. Like, I have to be productive. I have to be healing my problems. I have to be recovering. I have to be learning. I have to be doing something productive with that time. Even my rest is productive because I have been damaged too much by all these dangerous entities, and it's not my fault. It's someone damaged me when I was an innocent, vulnerable, susceptible child, and they did it on purpose. That's not my fault. What the hell? All it took was, this was not a place I was in last night, okay? Yesterday I went and I uploaded some things I wanted to upload. And it took me so long. I literally didn't sleep the night before because I felt myself going into the pattern of, and now here we go. And it's like I don't have enough energy in any one day to create what I need to create that day. And so I just stayed up and I said, okay, whatever. Stayed up all night, didn't sleep a wink, went to the library literally as soon as I realized, oh, it's the next day. Spent 7 hours there reading this Rhonda Byrne book in Russian. And I'm like, the Tao knows me. I'm being helped because reading this in Russian makes my brain understand it because that's my mother tongue. Reading this kind of information in Russian because it's your foundational mental functioning. Like, you can't read that stuff in a second language. And you can't really read it in a language like English where the words are kind of less defined or something. I don't know how to explain it. Like, Russian has a lot more... Or maybe that's the... No, I feel like Russian is more... It has more tone variation. It has more shades. You can really understand something. And I think it must be because it's my mother tongue too. But I was like, this whole time I'm studying and learning things in English, and I need to switch to Russian. And I need to become a translator, even if I won't be the best one possible, because you have to read about these things that change your life in your mother tongue. It reaches such a deep place, and you don't know what your family needs, as in your river that you come from, your ancestors, your family tree. Like, you don't know what your people need that you could be building and creating right now because your magnitude of power is off because you learned about the information in not your language. Okay? That was, I mean, all I did was read that book for about 3 hours, 2 hours, and I was like, I'm different. I'm different after reading this book in Russian. I've read the original Secret book and I didn't like it. I bought the original Secret movie and I was so impressed by the idea. I just watched it every day for a month. And this was after I was assaulted when I was 20, and this isn't, I'm not. And I actually have like an aversion to the Secret franchise and Rhonda Byrne and everything. And yet I'm like, the Tao is so cool because it'll just bring you anything from anywhere, and you'll recognize how you don't have resistance to it because it's just going to be part of how it comes in. And you're like, this is actually fun now because I used to have resistance. Let's use not jargon. I used to have, I mean, that's understandable. I used to be so uncomfortable and angry at this work because I hated it. I thought it was bullshit, oversimplistic, and not helpful. Not good enough. It wasn't helpful. I'm like, it's not helpful. Even if the idea that's in here is really helpful, I'm kind of mad at you because I feel like somebody gave me half a key and I can tell that the key works for the top part of the lock, but where's the rest of the key? And it's like, you're messing with me more. If you're going to explain such a concept and give me the feeling that, like, oh my god, I think I found something really real, can you explain it properly? Otherwise, I'm just left with half a key, and it makes me feel like something's laughing at me even more now, because it's like, ha 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 ha, there is a fucking way out, but you're never going to get in. You know what I'm, that's a great, oh, I feel so much better. I released something just now, a guilt I've been holding because I'm like, I feel bad that I'm like too critical or whatever. And it's like, oh, you should be grateful because at least this is the place where all this stuff came in. And it's like, yeah, but I'm upset for a reason. And now that I know that, I understand what I will be thinking about when I create anything to try and officially like be like, hey, this is my official attempt to really like help you. This is helpful as hell. It's like, how do I make sure to not go from, well, maybe everyone already knows about this, I don't want to overstate myself, to, you know, if everybody knows about all kinds of stuff that I assume everybody knows about, the world would be a fucking amazing little blue marble of happiness and well-being and peace and wealth and prosperity and every other kind. And it's not how it is. Okay, so it's like, I'm gonna speak as if people don't know. And I'm gonna say things over and over, and I'm gonna get away from this capitalistic, horrible American culture of being cool because you have more information. If you have more information, you should be sharing it and helping the goddamn world be better. I'm not impressed that you went there and you have a price tag on your motherfucking education that makes you feel like, oh my god, yes, $250,000. Okay, so what are you doing with it? I guess they made a bad bet because all of you who have that tag on your minds that you're so proud of, you're like, yes, I got a price tag from an actual like university that gave me this feeling. And I'm like, that's great. It's not about that feeling. It's not about that fake concept prestige. This capitalistic bullshit, this British American invention needs to go. It needs to go. It's an attitude of life, okay? It's an attitude toward people, toward the experience of living itself, procuring means to be alive, whether you are a fucking Arctic fox diving in the snow because you have magnetic vision and you can sense the tremblings of a mouse underneath 4 feet of freshly fallen. I don't care. If you have means, whether it's knowledge, a mind that feels more represented, therefore comfortable, therefore less stressed, therefore has more energy, more focusing power, more intelligence power, you could choose to engage, to help the world, to help where you live, your home. You could be doing that, but you're not doing that. You're playing these prestige games. And I'm like, I'm just disgusted with all of you, okay? And beyond all that, I grew up in dangerous environments and I wasn't allowed to feel upset about other people. Other people were upset about me. Okay? And so I have been observing an utter kind of like confusion, shock, then too much innocent like openness, not understanding how my magnetics would lead dangerous people to me because I grew up around them and they impressed upon my mind in the deepest ways. That anything that comes to me that is valuable is a waste of that valuable something, because it could have gone to somebody who was actually a person, who actually, it could have gone to somebody who actually mattered. I think I'm actually going to be healing from my childhood experience of extremely dangerous European ego and the racism that it engages in for a purpose I don't understand. I keep hearing it's for power. It's the only way it knows how to experience power. It's not power, it's force and violence. But now it's been going on for so long and they've invented all these slick ways of doing all this mental shit with you guys. They're like cocky with it and you're confused because now you're like weirdly worshiping them. There was a time when everybody was much more stern with the US, and now it seems like everyone's lenient as hell because everyone has drunken the goddamn Kool-Aid on some level. It got in a little bit, you know, because they did dominate the whole world. And so the never-ending, like the never-ending information of US flag, US people, US celebrities, US shows, US trends, US music trends. And when they use African Americans, when they use black people whom they destroyed Africa. And they're just like, oh, we're going to profit off of this now and going to use it as an American product, not an African product, an American product, whitewash it and then we're just gonna make more cultural leeway into everyone's minds, and they're gonna stop being able to understand us for who we are, because we're gonna become too familiar to them. Familiar, as in familial, family. It's gonna start to feel like, oh, but they're part of me, and so now I can't quite respond properly to this crazy shit they're doing because, but they're part of me. But Ellen, it's like, I just realized this might be the beginning of me coming out of my American depression as a person of the world who's not American, who's so mortified by what the trends I'm seeing, like where I see it going. I'm like, this is not it. I think I'm gonna start healing from my American depression, because I've been feeling like, how do you even? I don't want this future that I'm sensing. I want the world to remain itself and not lose itself, and to prosper. I want everyone to be able to have the experience of, I matter, I have identity, my history is gold and precious. Oof. I want everyone to have the experience, I am precious. So why is this outside force chomping away at me at the speed of terrifying, metallic, German level efficiency, trying to tell me that I must move so that it can make and remake in its image me,